So Celtic once again doing Celtic things. The latest now is they're stalling on the managerial appointment. Looks now that Martin O'Neill will discuss with the board and stuff like that next week. Honestly, it baffles you sometimes how, honestly, they never learn any lessons whatsoever when it comes to things. It's like, we need a manager in right now. We need a manager to get pre-season under his belt when it happens, identify players, get the team prepared for the Champions League qualifier in August. But usual, Celtic will take their time, we'll haggle, we'll stall. You know, we've had all year known we need a permanent manager for next season. Didn't work out with Wilfred Nancy for obvious reasons. They didn't win football matches. Martin O'Neill has done a brilliant job. And whoever it may be, you know, they should be identified, they should have been targeted, should have been discussed at the end of the season. But, you know, usual Celtic, you know, I really don't understand it. I really don't get it. I mean, the last season's debacle at the start of the season, you know, we failed to qualify for Europe, well, Champions League. We get knocked out of that early. Then just everything else that happened afterwards, you know what I mean? And then, like I say, we need to identify players. We've got a major rebuild on our hands here. This isn't just going to be a couple of players and, you know, everything's sorted and all this and a couple of wee tweaks here and there and all that. We need a major surgery. We need major surgery in that squad. There's going to be players leaving. There's going to be big bids and stuff like that. We all know that's going to happen for Engels and all these guys. And again, it's just, I get they need a holiday and stuff, right? But we've got major work to do, you know, and we don't want to end up in the same predicament next season where we are. Let's be honest, we're awful. We were awful this season and we still managed to win a double. But it shouldn't be a case of, well, you know, we'll scrape over the line. You know, we've got enough to actually get that to happen. You know, we don't need to get things done too quickly. That's just a sign of a very poor managed club. You know what I mean? It's not right, man. It should be, like I say, it should be everything organised, settled, done. You know, I would want a new manager in now. Get them on the training pitch and identify his philosophy on the players so they can be prepared for how he wants to play and his philosophy and how he wants to do things. Because it's a long old season, you know what I mean? And these players need to know how they're supposed to play, what the manager wants for them, what we need to do to win trophies next season, what we need to do to progress in Europe next season. Because qualifying for the Champions League is crucial for Celtic this year. We can't afford to lose it in another year of without Champions League football. Not just for money, but for on the park as well, to develop, to make the club better and stronger in Europe and in Champions League. We need to be there every year. You know, and Postecoglou said that when he was here. The only way that Celtic will improve at this level is if we consistently playing it every year. And we've lost out in it last year through negligence. It was negligence. And we all know that. We all know that we needed players in at that point and it didn't happen. So, I just feel that we need to sort it out. We need to sort it out pronto. I don't want to be waiting here, you know, the World Cup's on and we're still talking about Celtic's next manager. We're still talking about Celtic identifying players. No, this needs to be now. You know, today is the last day of you can renew your season ticket. So I'm thinking that they're maybe waiting until that before they go next week. Because maybe some of the fans won't be happy who they appoint. So maybe even, you know, by Monday, Tuesday, you might learn more. But Stephen McGowan has said that the talks have stalled until next week. Like I say, I get Dermot Desmond and all these guys, they need a holiday and they need to relax after, you know, a very draining season. But I don't know, man, it's not good enough for Celtic in my opinion, and I think a lot of fans will agree with me on that. And there'll be going to be certain Celtic fans who they will, you know, renew their season ticket today, and I don't blame them because, you know, we love the club, we love everything about the club and stuff like that. But Celtic, they're no daft, they know exactly what they're doing, they know the people will end up just biting the bullet and getting a new season ticket regardless of what's going to happen next season. So they're very clever, they know exactly what they're up to. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, and remember to subscribe. Cheers.